All right, T6C, circuit diagrams, schematic symbols. What's the name for standardized representations of components in an electrical wiring diagram? They are called schematic symbols. We've looked at several of them here so far this evening, and we're going to look at some more. Schematic symbols. When we put them together in the diagram, it's called a schematic diagram. Okay, this refers now to this figure T1 down here. What is component 1 in figure T1? Component 1 right here is a resistor, that mountain road, that resists the flow of electricity. Okay? What is component 2 in figure T1? Component 2 is a bipolar transistor, or just transistor is the answer that's offered to you. What's component 3 in figure T1? It's a lamp, a little light bulb there, kind of looks like a light bulb if you look at it closely. Has the glass envelope around it and the little filament inside. What is component T4 in figure T1? It's a battery. Now they have it here looking something like a capacitor, except you can see that it has more than just 2 plates, and they are of variable length. This one has a long plate, short plate, long plate, short plate. And that's the schematic representation of a battery. This right here is a common ground. So all of these 3 places where these appear are all connected together. Instead of showing another wire all the way across here, it's handier just to show the ground in each place. But that indicates that they are all grounded to each other and to various other things also, probably. Okay, what is component 6 in figure T2? Here's figure T2. Component 6 is this thing right here. Where's my arrow? Right there. Okay, figure 6, that is a capacitor. Now this is a little different than what we've seen before. This one has a curved plate. Doesn't make any difference. It's still a capacitor. So it has a straight plate and a curved plate, but it is a capacitor. Okay. What is component 8 in figure T2? It's a light-emitting diode. It is right here. It shows the diode, doesn't it? See the little arrows coming off of there to show the light coming off? Okay, that's the light-emitting diode. What is component 9 in figure T2? It's a variable resistor. Here's our resistor. Okay, and here you can see how it's hooked up so that that slider can move across the resistor to change the value of it. Okay, a variable resistor. What is component 4 in figure T2? It's a transformer. A transformer is a device that's made up of 2 or more inductors with a common core. Here you see the first inductor called the primary. Here you see the second inductor, which is called the secondary. And here you see the common core in between them. Okay, so this whole device here is one component called a transformer. Any questions on those? All right, we will move on then. What is component 3 in figure T3? It is a variable inductor. Here we see an inductor, and we haven't seen this before with the arrow on it, have we? But we can also have variable inductors. We can have a coil here with a slider that can move along to the various turns of the coil to give us different values of inductance. Okay, so this is a variable inductor. What's component 4 in figure T3? It's an antenna. An antenna. And this circuit right here is an antenna tuner. You have an antenna hooked to it. Your transmitter would hook to it over here. Here you have a variable capacitor, another variable capacitor, and a variable inductor. And this can be used to match the transmitter to the antenna to make sure you get the maximum transmission of power from the transmitter to the antenna. And we're going to talk about that in a later lesson about how we do that. But this is the kind of circuit that you would use for that, an antenna tuner. What do the symbols on an electrical circuit schematic diagram represent? They are the electrical components. The various symbols are electrical components. And let me pause here, Joe, and then I'll start the narrative again, give you time for editing. What do the symbols on an electrical circuit schematic diagram represent? They represent electrical components, the various components that make up the circuit. Which of the following is accurately represented in electrical circuit schematic diagrams? The way the components are interconnected to each other is what's represented on the schematic diagram. It doesn't show you where they're physically located on a circuit board or in a device. It shows you how they are interconnected.